Hey guys, welcome back to Minute Kurt here, and this is a voiceover video because my audio was rubbish from the camera for some reason, and I don't know what's happening. But anyway, here's my Invicta Pro Diver. Took the bracelet off already, so let's get into it. Here is the... Nope, there's the logo. There's the Invicta logo that we're gonna grind off and somehow polish up to make it look normal, have some normalcy. Here's the crown logo, which we're also going to grind down and polish. That's going to be interesting. And then here's the Invicta logo of the bracelet, which we're going to grind down and somehow make look normal. It's going to be a pain in the butt. First thing we have to do is remove the bracelet from the buckle. Just pop out those pins. And here we're going to show my buckle there with the Invicta logo. And pretty sure that's going to be a difficult task to do. You can see it stamped through the buckle, and that worried me a lot before I even done it. There's the enormous amount of tape that I put because I'm a tape monster and love to tape everything up way too much. But I figured I wanted to protect the case as much as possible. You don't really need to use that much tape. I'm just kind of a tape moron, so that's why there's so much tape. But you can just pop off this bezel fairly easily. Just have some patience, pop it off. You don't need to take off the insert with the retainer ring. It does just pop off. So remove the tape, and next thing you're gonna do is you're going to just kind of inspect the bezel. It's a good idea to inspect the bezel. You don't want to proceed if you have a totally screwed up bezel, because that's just the way we roll. Then you're going to remove the case back. Use a case back removal tool. The Invicta Pro Diver isn't super taut, unlike a real diver like a Seiko diver, Omega or something. Those are gnarly and you need a lot of force to remove them. These ones are fairly easy. Unscrew it and then plop it on there somewhere, plop it on the side somewhere, keep it safe. And then you're going to remove the guts from the case. So zoom with your camera. Just unscrew the crown, sing a song, maybe let out some gas, and then hold your breath and push down on the release mechanism right there. Get the rotor out of the way, and don't let the rotor hit your spring bar tool or whatever tool you're using, and then push down on the release mechanism and then pull out the crown, and bam, there you go. Your crown is out. You're crownless and your movement is ready to come out. Coax it out a little bit and then put it down on some kind of safe surface. This is a soft rubber surface that I have it on. It's a phone case, and then I actually put it in a Seiko 5 case to keep it nice and safe. I put the crown back in the Seiko 5 case. I just wanted to keep the guts all nice and safe from dust and debris and mold and mushrooms and politicians, all that kind of stuff. And I think it actually kind of looks pretty cool. I think it looks pretty cool in that Seiko 5 case. Here is the Invicta case, all naked and afraid with the stock crystal on there. So I actually put a bezel from some other crappy watch onto the case just to give it some leverage so I could pop the crystal through. The crystal pops through super easily, just pop. Comes right out, no problem. And then give a little finger blast just to make sure you got it all through. This is a contraption I made with a vice grip and my rotary tool. I thought about getting a belt sander, but I didn't want to spend that extra money. I've spent 15 bucks on the grip. So here we go. I am grinding down. I'm beginning to grind down the Invicta logo off the side of the case. I'm using a 120 grit wheel, and in hindsight, I am never going to do that again. This little wheel has put some deep scratches into the case, which you can see a little bit even after I finished everything. I could sand it down more, but I'm going to use a 240 wheel the next time. I just didn't have any, and no stores had them, which is a pain in the butt. And here is the somewhat finished up ground down side of the case. You can see there's a lot more work to do. And guys, please use protective eyewear. You don't want to have bits of metal flying into your face. Here I am grinding down the crown, preliminary grind down. This was fairly easy. There wasn't a whole lot to do, but I did have to be careful because I didn't want to make a flat spot. And there it is. Before polishing, I just polished it up after, and it was pretty easy. Here's the bracelet, which was a pain in the ass. The bracelet proved to be quite difficult. I basically had to grind down the whole thing to make it even. And there it is, before my final brushing with my green scouring pad, and I think it pretty much came out the way I wanted to come out. This is my favorite part. And then I went to the process of hand sanding down all the rough spots, the high points, the scratches, from 200 grit to 320 grit down to 800 grit, then finally to 1500 grit sandpaper. It took a long time. I was there sanding for, I don't know, maybe about 2 hours. I was sanding for about 2 hours just to make sure everything was perfect, meticulously doing it. And here is this about halfway through the sanding process. I was losing hope, but I had a coffee and some soda, and here I am polishing the final product, just using the polishing wheel and some mother's polishing chemicals, getting all over my fingers, and it came out pretty good. I'm really happy with the way the polishing came out. I could do more. I could take it out and do more to the case, but for now, pretty happy with the way it all came out. Now, I forgot to record the putting in of the crystal. It's just a reverse process. The crystal actually goes in really easily. I have videos on how to put in a crystal. I apologize about that. That was my doofusness in play. So I did have to take out the insert of the Invicta bezel, and doing it from underneath makes it so you don't bend the insert. It's much easier to do it that way. Then you can take out the retainer ring. Put the bezel on the case, then slowly and carefully put the retainer ring back on the bezel, and that's all you have to do. Have some patience with that. It does take a little bit of fiddling with your bits to get the retainer back in, but once you do that, everything is really good. And here you can see the bezel's back on, and it's ratchety goodness. Make sure you put the bezel spring first, yeah. So you can put the insert back on now, but I highly recommend you put it on last. I think the insert should be the one you put on last so you can align it perfectly. Here's the Invicta guts. I'm pulling off the hands. I'm never going to use these hands again, even though I like them. I like the Mercedes styles hand. The loom on these hands are just not good, so I don't think I'm ever going to use them again. Probably never going to use the Invicta dial again. So you can just kind of put it away or maybe sell it. But I just actually ate it. I put it in my face and I chewed on it, I crunched on it, ate it. It was tasty. It was good. It tasted real good. So I actually had to tape up the buckle because I did scratch it up when I was rebrushing it with the green scarring pad. So I just taped it up and give it a good old rotary polish, and there it is. That's the buckle, all nice and perfect again. It looks really good. I think it came out really nice, and the brushing came out really, really good. It's not perfect, but it came out really, really nice. I'm really stoked on how that came out. So I'm not going to show the process of me putting on the new stuff. Instead, I'm just going to show you the final product. Alright guys, and now here's the finished product. Woo! Look at that, baby! Yeah! What do you think about this? So what you're seeing here is the dial from the Seiko Prospex Diver SPB053, one of the 62 MAS reissues. I got the dial from eBay, and oh my gosh, am I so happy with how this came out. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but I did learn a lot of things from doing this mod, and I'm still very, very happy with the way it came out. The side of the case, there were some deep scratches from the wheel that I used, and I learned from my mistakes, and I'm gonna do a little bit different next time. But I'm still happy with the way it came out. It's better than having that Invicta logo, and I'm actually very happy with the way that the buckle came out, and of course the crown. So super stoked. I did leave the Invicta logo on the case back there. I'm going to see that because I do want to show people that it actually was an Invicta. In case they don't believe me, I'll just take it off and show them, and then show them the rotor. And it's kind of a cool reminder to me that it is an Invicta, or it was an Invicta, and I turned it into this beautiful Seiko 40mm Seiko, and it's just lovely. Now the dial is a little bit too big for the case. The The indices are a little bit too big, and it does kind of not sit perfectly, but it stays in there good. And it just looks fantastic. What do you guys think about this? Let me put it on my wrist. I might not have sized it properly for my wrist just yet, but there you go. Look at that. Ooh, this is very, very cool. And I'm glad that I got to use the super shiny bracelet. But I am curious to see what it will look like on a bunch of different straps. And if you guys are interested in what, if you guys are interested in a straps video for this, watch it and let me know in the comments below. If I see like 20 or so people saying yes, and I will do a straps video for this mod. But oh man, I'm so stoked with the way it came out. Of course, there's the aforementioned. Oh, by the way, the hands are from the SNZH 53. My old SNZH. So I decided on those hands because well, they were free because I had them, and two, I just thought that they would look really nice on this mod, and I'm so stoked with the way they came out, especially because the loom all matches up and they're just as super bright. Speaking of that, let's do a little bit of a loom check right now for you guys. I'm just gonna turn off these lights here and do a little bit of a loom check just real quick. And boom, look at that. Look at that. Wait, I'm gonna do brighter. There you go. Brighter loom check, and boom. Whoo, baby, look at that. It is just perfect. The hands glow perfectly with the dial, and I'm super stoked. Of course, the Invicta pip is hopeless, but I'm hoping that'll change. Maybe somebody will make a loomed ceramic bezel insert, Carlos. But until that day, I am super stoked with the way that turn my lights, that this all came out. It's just super awesome. I am so stoked. But let's see what the boys have to think about this super badass mod, which I have yet to name. Hey boys, welcome back to the show. What up? So what do you think about my super cool new mod?
Oh man, you are crazy. I can't believe that came out. I know you were talking about this for 17 and a half years, but I was like, you're never gonna do it.
Yeah.
But you totally did it. You went and got the stuff, and you get the things, and you were in the garage all day doing the grinding and the sanding, and I heard you wrapping some M&M and some ice cube and some vanilla ice.
Vanilla ice.
Yeah. So, and oh man, that is awesome. Congratulations. You did a good thing.
Yeah, you did a good thing, man. That's so the dial's from a 6R15 movement.
Yep.
And it just goes perfectly on the NH35A movement.
How do you know all these things?
I pay attention, you dumbass. We've been doing these things for years. Don't you know anything?
I know. I like to eat chips.
Yeah. Okay. So it goes right on the NH35.
Yep. It just goes right on any dial from a 6R15. Well, most, at least as far as I can tell, will go right on any Seiko NH35, NH36, 7S26, and 4R36. As long as the crown position is the same, you don't have to do any modifications. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, well, mention that. Oh, you could probably sell that for like $800.
No, I'm gonna keep it because it's awesome, man. Maybe when I get better at doing them, I'll make something to sell people. But as it stands right now, I'm just gonna keep it and wear it and show off all kinds of Instagram pictures for you.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, well, let's have some final thoughts.
Okay.
With its dial that doesn't quite fit, and with the words on the bottom slightly hidden, and the small scratches here and there that I've made during the process, this mod isn't perfect. But for me, it represents the follow-through of a vision, the continued realization that even though things seem difficult, they can be done. Despite my mistakes, I am very glad that I have done this. It was an accomplishment of learning, and I am so proud that I could actually do it. I used to never try things. I lived in a comfortable bubble of seclusion and safety, but about 8 years ago, I changed my life. I started doing things, going places. I stepped outside of myself. And in the coming months, I am going to make a tremendous change. If you were like me, think about the things that you wish to accomplish, and go for it. We've got this one life to live, you know? Whatever it may be, make the change, do the thing, see the world, whatever it takes. This is my Seiko Vision mod.